I'm ready.
Yay!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toastmasters. It's Tuesday night in Fairfield, Iowa at the United Methodist Church. We welcome you to enjoy the show tonight. I'd like to introduce our president, Mr. Will Burns. Help me warmly welcome Will Burns.
Yeah!
Thank you, Rhonda, guests, viewers at home, and fellow Toastmasters for that warm welcome. And welcome to another meeting of Golden Speakers Toastmasters, where our mission to provide a mutually supportive, positive, learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth.
Yeah!
And now, it's my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster, Darlene Martin.
Thank you, Will. Welcome, everyone, Toastmasters. I don't think we have any guests this evening. And viewers at home who are very comfortable on this snowy night we all braved to come out to. Well, my name is Darlene Martin, and I will be your Toastmaster this evening, and my role is to keep things moving, the meeting rolling along. And so in keeping up with that, I'm going to introduce our role players of the evening. So our first role player is our timer, Bill, and he will explain to us what his role and duty is.
Good evening. I'm the timer tonight, and the timer just keeps track of time. So for table topics, those speeches are 1 to 2 minutes long. The green light is turned on at 1 minute, the yellow light at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red light is turned on at 2 minutes and remains on until the end of the speech. Prepared speeches are usually 5 to 7 minutes, but the icebreaker is 4 to 6. Some advanced level speeches are longer, as they will be tonight. The green light is turned on at 5 minutes, yellow light at 6 minutes, and the red light at 7 minutes, and also remains on till the end of the speech. Evaluations are 3 minutes long. Each speaker is evaluated. The green light is turned on at 2 minutes, yellow light at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red light is turned on at 3 minutes and remains on till the end of the evaluation. All speakers and evaluators have a 30-second grace period after the red light is turned on. Table topic speakers need to speak for at least 1 minute to qualify for votes. Thank you.
Yo!
Thank you. And now we'll have our all counter, Art, will explain his role to us this evening.
Good evening, Toastmasters. My role as counter is to notice and note down filler words and noises that we use to fill up space, usually out of discomfort. Hello. So I will be looking for like, you know, so, but, and other variations that you may invent. I will give a short report at the end of the meeting of what I hear.
Thank you, Art. And Art will also be our ballot counter this evening. Next, we have our grammarian, which is Will Burns.
Thank you, Darlene. As grammarian, I will be tracking any correct or incorrect uses of the English language. Fortunately, I'm a master of good English and bad English. I will also be noting any turns of phrases or unique sort of poetic statements that you make. I will be giving you your word of the day and noting any uses of that, as well as giving a report at the end. But for now, the word of the day is ardent, characterized by warmth of feeling typically expressed in eager, zealous support or activity. Also fiery or hot, or shining and glowing. The example is he or she or he made ardent declarations of love to the woman he someday hoped to marry. Go to it.
Thank you, Will. Our greeter and joke master is Cindy, and we will hear from her a little bit later in the evening with the joke. And our general evaluator will be Scott Terry, and we'll hear from him later as well. And at this time, I'd like to invite up our Table Topics master, Madam Table Topics, Cindy's trainer.
Are we happy tonight?
Woo!
Yes. I'm happy you're all here. We're going to have some fun, I hope. We've got a mystery box. But first, for our guests and newer members, and for older members to refresh our memories, the purpose of Table Topics is to practice speaking off the cuff. You see, there's no cuffs on here. What is it? The old Bullwinkle show used to say, "Not my sleeve," you know, reach into the hat, if you remember that. Yeah. What the idea is I will call somebody, guests can be included, I'll ask for volunteers first, and those people who don't have a role, a speaking role, who aren't giving a speech tonight or don't have another role, and we will see what's in the box and how it can make you happy. So, show of hands, any volunteers? John.
Yo.
Got something. How are you going to use that to bring happiness to yourself and others?
Golden speakers, honored guests, and viewers at home. This is very interesting because I think this has to do with food. Okay, whipping food or something. Whip it good. It's interesting because I haven't had any food since Friday night at 8 o'clock. I've been on a master cleanse where you use lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. And you mix it up, and that's all you drink. And I've lost 6 pounds since Friday night. This is my 4th day. And everything reminds me of food. How to make food, things that hold food. This could be food related. Actually, anything could be food related at this point. I thought it would be harder than it was to give up food, but it's actually not as bad as I thought, knock on wood, because you don't want everybody to know. But I would highly recommend this cleanse to anyone that wants to reset their body, their salt intake, their sugar intake, and lose some pounds.
What are the measurements?
It is 3 lemons to a quart of water, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and just a dash of cayenne. I put too much cayenne in one batch. And Jane threw it out and says, "No, you can't drink that." And so, but if you look it up on the internet, Master Cleanse, it's been around since 1954, and it's worked for me. Thank you very much.
Mr. Timer, would you like to come up since you raised your hand?
Yeah. Somebody jump in.
So thank you very much for, ooh, ow, gosh, he's got teeth. Have fun.
Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, guests, viewers at home. I'm coming out of the cuff for a Table Topics. I want to segue into something that does make me happy. I don't need the glove. I don't need another mouth to say it. I haven't spoken here since last April. And a lot of things have happened to me since I came to Fairfield 2.5 years ago. One of the things that's happened in the last month that you're not aware of is I changed my name. So everybody that knows me by Bill, put your hand down, and I go by Liam. Which is another nickname for William. I just never knew that till December. It's the last 4 letters of the word, William. And I like it better than be ill. Bill. So, simple change, done. Okay, we're all on that same track now. That's my icebreaker. Now, to get back to that happiness aspect, how many of you have become enlightened since you've been here? Okay? Since June, without a doubt, I've experienced CC and GC. I've had these little glimpses into UC. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask me later. But I want to tell you the one key thing. I didn't get there through meditation. I know. Now you're wondering. And little did I know that in the 1.5 years that I came here, those seeds were being planted in me by people in this room, some of them here right now. And they, I don't think were even aware of it at the time. I wasn't aware of it until it happened, and until I reflected back. So, with that, I would just like to say that my life has completely changed since last June. And the only key I'll give you right now to any future talks is just surrender, like I'm going to do at the podium right now.
Go!
I'm just checking to see when I have to turn this over to the vote.
8:10.
10 after?
Yeah, because you lost a speaker.
Okay, I lost the speaker. All right, so we'll have 10 more minutes to table topics. Yes? Hey, okay.
Go!
Come on, have a
Go
second.
for it, Sam.
All right. Tell me what's in your jar and how will that make you and your family happy?
Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, viewers at home, what's in my jar and how will it make me and my family happy? Well, first, I'd like to say to John, wherever he is, where's John at? There he is. All I want to say is cheesecake, cheesecake, cheesecake.
Thank you.
The things that make me and my family happy are meaningful work, because with meaningful work comes lots of money. And my wife definitely is happier when I'm making lots of money. There's no, it's not a gray area. It's not subjective like GC, CC, and UC. It's not immeasurable. It's a very measurable level of happiness. Wow. You know, she's definitely happier I got a $2,000 keynote talk in February, and it was amazing how. Thank you very much. It was amazing how happy my wife was about that. And now, It's a little tongue-in-cheek because we know that money can't buy happiness, but it can buy organic food. And a nice organic cheesecake, it'll help you feel very happy. And it helps to pay for tuition for my kids at a wonderful private school where they get lots of attention. That, I believe, helps my kids to be happy. Getting attention in their education, having people surrounding them who care about them, in addition to the parents, their teachers. She has wonderful teachers, both my kids. So in wrapping up, I'd say the things that are in my jar that are really making me and my family happy right now is meaningful work that pays well and allows us to eat organic food, including cheesecakes, and tuition and the other things that help my kids have a wonderful life. Thank you very much.
Someone else had their hand up. Oh, Rahul. Okay, subject is happiness.
I'll be happy till they are figuring out timer.
Yeah, he's good.
All right.
Whoa.
Thank you, ma'am. Same topic, master.
Can you make the world happy?
World happy.
World happy.
People, how do you become happy? Well, world happy. Good evening, friends, fellow members, honored guests and viewers at home. My name is Rahul Watts, and theme of tonight, Toastmaster, is happiness. And I have this beautiful swan here, or a duck, or I don't know what it is actually, but something. And my topic is, how do I make the world happy using this? And to tell you honestly, I don't know the answer. Very honestly, I don't know the answer. Because to bring on happiness into the world, I think there are bigger questions that need to be answered. I very recently, just 30 minutes ago, was reading a news article about some terrorist planting a bomb and getting that bomb blast done in Hyderabad. And this is the fourth series of attack that happened in 3 days. And to bring happiness into the world would only be possible when people start thinking and realizing that nothing that they want to achieve can come by the means of destruction. If they destroy others, they destroy a piece of themselves. They destroy their own soul. So once everybody realizes that destruction is not the way to go, happiness can be achieved. But getting back to my topic now, I do realize this thing can make the world happy if it's a very, 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 very vast in size compared to what it is. And as Seth said, is filled with money. And that money is distributed evenly amongst all the people in the world. Now I know and I realize that, as Seth said, that money cannot buy happiness. Sorry for that. As money cannot buy happiness, that won't buy world happiness. But that would be some way to go for getting the world to become a happy place. Thank you.
Would any of our guests like
Guests,
to...
get it.
Yes.
No pressure. Do it.
Get up on that diving board. You can do it. You
They're
can do it.
members, they're not guests.
That's okay. Get up. Get up.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Yay!
Welcome. There's 3 things left in here. Go ahead and pick one. This is practice using props. Okay. Now, what would you do with that? Let's keep it clean.
All right, thank you.
Are you a gardener?
I do have an idea in mind.
All right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and viewers. My name is Karen Halke. This is my first Toastmasters Club meeting. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, after hearing the topic, how can this object bring happiness? I recollect a movie called Patch Adams, and I remember how the doctor could take any object, even a glove, whatever was around him, and do all sorts of things to entertain the children at the hospital. So I remember him putting the glove on his head, I believe, and making all sorts of sounds to sound like
Those won't stretch.
I've been hearing that money can bring happiness, but I also feel like it's the simplest things. You don't need to really bring so much material value as much as the content of something, the spirit you bring, or the humor, or the attentiveness that you bring to a child. And you can use a sanitary napkin, or a cup of tea, or just a kind word. So that's how I feel. Any object can bring happiness if you use it correctly with the right intention.
We have time for one more. Anybody just not dying, but so happy you want to get up there? Come on, slow it down.
Go.
Yeah, well,
Ah,
yeah, I think this one will go there.
that one's been used before, yes.
Oh, this is easy.
That could be happy.
Fellow members, viewers at home, and guests, how can I use this to make you happy? Well, I'll miss the golden geese. Will probably make many people happy, especially your wife, Seth. She'll bring home golden eggs. And raise your, what was the name of that tool that the Aladdin, I think, the lamp, right? So he had this wonderful jar. That was actually the magical jar. Now, and this is a magical scoop. So you can use this scoop to scoop the best ice cream. I know Tom will like this. Now, what is your best ice cream idea? What flavor do you like?
Raspberry.
Raspberry. How about you?
Mint chocolate chip.
Chocolate chips.
Chocolate.
So I guess you guessed. This is a magical scoop. Whenever you scoop an ice cream, it will come with the flavor that you like the most. And I think it's going to be better than whatever you are cooking, because this is already done by organic sources. So thank you very much. It's a magical scoop.
That concludes our table topics presentation. Mr. Timer, can you tell us, you don't have to give me the time actual, just who made it within the time frame for table topics?
All speakers made it in the time frame. We had John, Liam, Seth, Rahul, Karen, and Sloka.
You'll find a slip of paper nearby or on the chair that you're occupying, and tear off where it says table topics, and please vote. All right, let's get back to work here. And the next up is the table topics evaluator. Please warmly welcome Stephanie Chambers to perform this role.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Toastmasters, viewers at home and honoured guests. I always love it when Cindy brings her magic box or bag and draws things out. I have a feeling that Cindy would like to be a magician the same as Jesus. So, and tonight everyone seemed to enjoy and make use of their props to bring happiness. I really like John's story about how it reminded him of food, and obviously how food is on his mind at the moment. And it was great the way everyone often made references back to John and his food issue. So that was really good. The only suggestion I have for John is that maybe if you spend a little bit more time, you've got, I think, 30 seconds or so to think before you start. It might help you to just think of some structure so that you can plan it a little bit better and maybe make a point at the end. So that was my only suggestion for you, but otherwise I enjoyed it. Liam, I haven't had the pleasure of hearing you before, but I enjoyed your speech. You were very confident, and I liked the way the points you made, especially about your name. I think we'll all remember that. Although it's fine in table topics to totally divert to another topic, I think if you can make use of the prop a little more, it would impress everyone more.
Yep.
And to make it show that it's really off the cuff because you've had to adapt to whatever was there. I know some people do have prepared things in their minds when they go into table topics, but they still have to integrate those things into the table topic. Seth, I enjoyed your speech about happiness and money, and you obviously contrasted the two topics, which was great. If you could have thought of a little bit more of a way to bring the jar into it, it would have helped. And it's an easy tendency to kind of fiddle with the prop, and that can be a little distracting. So I think next time, maybe put the jar down and come back to it later. Rahul, that was... Oh, he's gone. Oh, that was really great. I like the way Rahul brought in a very relevant topical thing of something he just read recently and tied that into the table topic. That was really great. I think he could have taken a little bit more time at the beginning and thought of some structure. Karen, getting on to yours, I loved your use of the glove, and I liked the way you could think of something like the Patch Adams story. It was great. It was really good the way you made a moral of the story at the end, and you ended up with a really strong structure and a really strong point at the end. That was really great. And I think maybe with a little bit more practice you could do some vocal variety and use the stage more and all those sort of things. But for a first time, that was fantastic. Slobodan, I think the same sort of point about taking time before you start would help to add some structure. I like the way you involved the audience. That was great. But if you had a bit more time, you could have maybe thought of a moral of the story or a point to make through the whole thing, so that would have been good. But overall, it was a really great table topic, so I enjoyed it. Now I hand you back.
Thank you, Stephanie. And now this is the time that we have more prepared speeches. That'll be a little bit longer. And our first one is Jesus will be giving our first speech, and his evaluator will be Rhonda Winker. So Rhonda, if you'd like to come up, please, and introduce Jesus. Jesus is our resident magician. He's a man sleight of hand, and he has eyes that connect with people very easily. You can connect with your emotions without even trying. He's a character you want to keep your eye on. His speech tonight is Project 10, Inspire Your Audience. He will connect with the audience to inspire us to change in some way, in some noble way, to accomplish a goal. He's going to appeal to your needs and your emotions, so be prepared. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Jesus.
10th, he's going to finish his CC tonight.
The title of my speech is better to give than to receive. Wise words that my father gave to me as a little kid. But keep in mind, he was a boxer. Better to give than to receive. My father is a man that I can say that he loved me not. And I say this because some of the advices he gave me. He told me, son, never get into a stranger's car unless they offer you candy. At the age of 16, he tried to surprise me with a car. Luckily, I managed to get out of the way. Perhaps I like to use humor as a way to vent my emotions. This is a topic that is difficult for me because it's something that I'm not normally open up to anybody. But I feel that I need to grow. I need to develop some guts, get the butterflies to flight information, as Tom always says. And I think that this is a good opportunity to grow and to achieve my goals. As a little kid, I started working since I was 5 years old, going to people's house, to my neighbors. Can I take your trash out? I will take the trash out. Maybe I did that. It was kind of fun, and I always like to earn money. I remember getting these big old copper coins, and by the end of my route, just go to my mom and say, here, mom, here's for groceries. She will say the money, buy me shoes, buy me pens, buy me my school supplies. Then I started working in a bicycle shop. I learned how to fix bicycles maybe when I was from 7 to 9 years old. And throughout my childhood, I suffered a lot of abuses, totally unnecessary abuses. They're not somewhat embarrassing, but I'm gonna just share those with you because it is hard for me as an adult now to see how somebody, an adult, a fully developed adult, a grown man, and a woman, or a woman in this case, do something totally unnecessary. An example is that one time I work in a blacksmith building doors and windows, and the guys, when they were grinding the welding out of the job and they were working, they used to shoot the sparks to me. And my mom used to make pillows with our old clothes. And I remember one time she opened the pillow to wash the pillowcase, and I saw this shirt, an orange shirt, and had paint for the primer that we used for the metal that we used to paint, and had a bunch of little holes. And it was a teeny little shirt, so I said, wow, I really was little when I was doing that. And as I'm working there one time, a guy comes and pulls some of my hair and says, here, let's see, and he got some of his hair, said, let's see if we can make him curly. So there I am, little kid, maybe like 9 years old yet. And then everybody started laughing. I didn't know why they were laughing. It was pubic hair that he gave me. Another time, at the same place, as I was sitting down doing some priming, this guy came and hit me from behind with a broomstick. He hit me so hard and I didn't feel the impact of the blow. I just felt like an electric shock went through my body. I turned around and asked him why. He said, well, I want to receive his truth and somebody can just pass out when you hit him in the back of the head. And it was an adult. Another time, a grown woman that I used to visit at her work, she was smoking and she told me, watch, I can make smoke coming out of my eyes. So as I'm watching there, she broke my arm. And she thought it was a joke. I don't see nothing funny about. And I find it hard to believe that an adult will do something like this to a little child. But it's okay. I use those experiences as a way, as a learning lesson. And a lot of the experiences that I have experienced through my life, they have made me the person that I am now. Now I have dreams. My dream and my goal is to go back to my country and help a lot of those kids that are playing soccer in the streets. I'm planning to buy brooms, to buy shovels, to buy gardening tools, and take those kids and use those vacant lots, and there's a lot of them in the city, and do some gardening. I started gardening last year, and I got a lot of pleasure, a lot of joy out of gardening. I will buy them shirts so we can make a soccer team and take them to the field and actually play in a field with a real soccer ball. I will do that with the neighborhoods around throughout the city and get those teams compete. I will try to develop their artistic skills. I will share the knowledge that I have gained. The United States has been a school for me, and I think that I am ready to go and to give. And that's what I name my speech. It's better to give than to receive, because I know that will make me happy. It might not make me money, but money is just a material thing. The happy, the richness, it goes within me. And wherever I go, it goes with me. The knowledge that I got, nobody can steal that from me. Nobody can take it away. Perhaps you have your dreams, you have your goals. Maybe you want to lose some weight. Maybe you want to improve your relationship. Maybe you want to gain some weight. Maybe you want to get close with God. Grow up in the Spirit. You all can do it. Just one simple step at a time. Today is my 10th speech. And when I started on Toastmasters, it seems like a long way. But now, tonight, when I go out of here in a few seconds, I will say, I completed, I did it. And that's the way dreams come to be. One step at a time, a little bit at a time. Set your sight where you want to go. And as someone say, the beginning of a 1,000-mile journey, start with the first step. So let's take the first step. We can do it. Table master. Toastmaster.
That was powerful, Jesus. Thank you.
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes to vote. Evaluation. Okay, everyone, we're back. And our next speech is going to be done by Jean Simonton Craig. And her evaluator is going to be Ben Craig. So we'll let him come up and introduce Jean.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests, viewers at home. Jean is doing project number 4 in an advanced communication manual called Speaking to Inform. The project is a fact-finding report. These are the objectives. Prepare a report on a situation, event, or problem of interest to the audience. Deliver sufficient factual information in your report so that the audience can make a valid conclusion or sound decision. Answer questions from the audience. Jean Simonton Craig has lived in Fairfield since 1988, has been a Toastmaster since 2006. She is currently delivering healthy solutions to people in the local community and nationally through her activities as an Herbalife personal wellness coach. She works with a local nutrition club, Fairfield Nutrition. The speech that she is giving tonight on the current health crisis is a quick, colorful report and presentation that she gives regularly to local businesses and organizations. The purpose is to help get a better understanding of the preventable health problems that we have developed and how we can turn them around with simple nutrition and lifestyle changes. She would like opportunities to refine it and is looking forward to receiving Toastmaster comments. Please welcome Jean Simonton Craig.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and viewers at home. I feel ardently about the subject that I'm going to be talking to you about tonight. It's a preventable health crisis. I'd like to take a quick audience survey, and I'd like you to take a look at the health issues on the left. I'm not going to read them all, and Raise your hand if you are either working with one of those yourself or you know someone who is struggling with some of those issues. Okay, pretty much everybody, yes. On the right, lifestyle. Take a look at those. And again, just a show of hands, if you've ever used any of those or if you know somebody who incorporates that in their regular routine.
You mean most of America?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have a pretty broad consensus here that this topic I'm going to be talking about is going to relate to you because all of these things relate to what I'm going to be talking about. And if you can't see, by the way, can you kind of shift into some seats? We've got some seats here. Can't quite turn myself completely where I need to be, but let's take a look at some facts. Because we do have a health crisis that's going on right now that is being fueled by errors in choices from nutrition and lifestyle. American Medical Association lists cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes as top reasons for death, and they are principal causes of premature death. And it's been estimated that 50% of those are related to diet. In other words, preventable. Sort of says it, doesn't it? Right. Again, what we're seeing in the headlines is an epidemic of obesity in particular, overweight in general. And the country, the U.S., has gone from basically 1/3 to 2/3 is overweight, and 1/3 of that is obesity. So that's out and outright. That's even farther out on the scale. And our children, it's estimated that our children, this current generation is the first generation that's not going to have a longer lifespan than its parents. Again, driven by these nutritional problems. Here are reasons that people go to the doctor. 70% of all doctor's visits are coming from diet-related issues. Again, preventable, because you can make choices as to what you're putting in your mouth. Take a look at some of those complaints. Probably you're going to know some people, if you're not dealing with them yourself, that have these. And these are very, very common. American diet. It's high in sugar, fat, salt, calories, and it's low in fiber and protein. The flip side, in terms of what's healthy, is exactly the opposite. We need to be eating lower sugar, fat, salt, and calories, and higher in protein and fiber. So we're really on the wrong side of the pendulum. So let's talk about breakfast. Here's something that we can be being proactive about. Why does it matter? Okay, so take a look at some of these breakfasts. This may be something that you had this morning. A lot of different kinds. Or you may not have had anything at all. Breakfast skippers. Now this, you don't need to read all this tiny print, but I just want you to see the shape of the first two graphs. The first one is a carb-based breakfast. The second one is skipping breakfast. And basically what happens is, I call this this is the snake. And what happens is you have a carb-based breakfast, your blood sugar goes up, your energy goes up, but then it crashes very quickly. It doesn't stay with you, which leads you to looking for the next thing to get your blood sugar back up. So that's up and down, up and down. Skipping your breakfast is kind of the same thing, a little bit different, but the same shape, because eventually your blood sugars start going into the peaks and valleys. Down here is what is recommended. It's a balanced protein-based breakfast. It's going to keep your blood sugars even, within a nice range. The protein keeps you from being hungry, keeps you fuller longer, like that. So I call that taming the snake. We've also changed our lifestyle in terms of our activity levels. The list on the left are all the ways we used to do it, and on the right are the ways we do it now, all designed to lessen the activity. If we can push a button, how much better is that than actually getting up and doing something? Take the escalator to go work out. Portions. So our portions have increased significantly. Burgers. Much larger burgers. Hot Actually, the McDonald's is just around the corner there. You can see this giraffe visits there regularly. Poor guy. Okay, so we have some bad habits. We reach for things that are high sugar, high fat, high calories, and we don't go for the things that are really good for us. Sometimes it's a money issue. Sometimes we can think that we're getting something that's kind of cheap and inexpensive. We don't want to spend on something that's a little better for us. Time. We're running like crazy all the time. So people say, I don't have time to take care of myself. I need something fast and convenient and quick. This is really interesting here. This is a series of data for obesity in the U.S. over 20 years. So body mass index, which is what BMI stands for, the colors down here at the bottom indicate what percentage of the population of each of the states had a BMI of equal to or greater than 30, which translates into, for example, 30 pounds overweight for a 5'4" person, a 5'4" person, which is my size, so I can relate to that. So in 1990, you see the colors here. Darkest one was at 10 to 14%. By 1999, you see new categories coming online, a 15 to 19 and a 20 to 24%. No more little blue ones. And then on the 2009, more categories again, up to 30% or more of the population being that level of overweight. And of course, there's only one blue left, and that was you can see what's happened, and that's 20 years. Oops. And of course, this translates into increased health care costs as well. You can see the escalating costs there, and of course, you see that in the news all the time. Okay. And we're basically in denial and hoping that we can just put things off. And it is a tsunami that is coming.
I love how the doctors overweight too.
Yes, the doctor really had some work too. Very, very observant. Yes, I made the same comment. Here's an example of breakfast. A lot of people have this and they consider it a light breakfast. Coffee drink of some sort, and a muffin on the run. This is loaded with calories, fat, sugars, very little nutrition. Okay, flipping over here, we have, it's an Herbalife Formula 1 shake. It's, what, a fifth of the calories. It's high in protein, high in fiber, low in sugar, et cetera, et cetera. Same kind of concept, way healthier. I'm just going to mention something here about Herbalife because I've mentioned that. That's a company that I work with. It's a 33-year-old company. It's publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Just announced $6.4 billion in sales worldwide for 2012. I say that because it's just, you don't get those kinds of sales if your products don't work. In 88 countries around the world and over 60 million people taking these products. So just to give you a quick introduction on that, this is a Dr. David Heber, voted the best doctor by 35,000 peer doctors, Harvard graduate, just, all credentialed. These are just people behind the products and the research that goes into the formulations. Different gentlemen here, including a Nobel Prize winner, all very well known, highly respected. Just to wrap things up for you all, I'm hoping you've gotten a sense that we are really in the middle of a serious health crisis. Not just for ourselves, but for our children and our grandchildren. It's coming as a nation. So we need to take steps to do something. And it starts right here with the individual. So just as next steps for you, as an invitation to you, the first step would be to schedule an appointment to talk about your own personal wellness goals. Everyone's human, but everyone's got maybe a little different orientation as to where they want to go. That's something I can do with you. Would love to talk to you about that, so see me after the class. You also want to participate with people that are similar to you. It's called getting with the right tribe. So surround yourself with people who are wanting to be healthy and active the same as you. It's going to be much better, much smoother, and you'll all just really enjoy and grow together. Thank you. That is what I wanted to tell you today. And now I want to open it up for questions from the audience. This is part of the project, actually. Okay.
Do you want questions on your presentation, or do you want questions on your topic?
Questions maybe on the topic.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. Slobodan.
What food do you suggest for allergy problems?
It's a really good question. Again, it's an individual consideration. Would love to set up a time and talk to you a little bit more about that personally, because everyone's got a little different. People are different. So some people have sensitivities in certain ways, but can definitely work with you on that.
So there's no like one food serves everybody. One type of food will help everyone with allergies.
Not necessarily. It's really something that's kind of an individual consideration is the way I like to do it. Yeah.
Are there soy products in your shakes?
Yep, there's soy. There's different directions to go depending on where people need to be. So there's soy, there's dairy-based, there is a wheat, sesame, pea, protein. So a lot of different options. Yeah, thank you. Wanda?
How do you determine which direction people need to go in?
It's a great question. I am not trained as a nutritionist, fortunately. I didn't have to go to school to do this. But I am trained by those top doctors and other doctors, key people. So that's something that I sit down and talk to you about and make a determination. We talk about it together. Yeah. There's a lady in the back.
Why would I choose your product over making a shake for myself at home?
Maybe you just want to find out a little bit more about what our shake is and see if that's something that's going to be fitting for you with what you're trying to accomplish. And again, I think we probably just have to kind of talk about that and see, and then it's something you can try and see if you like it. John, I have time for one more.
I forgot.
Okay, you're not on the food plan anyway. All right, it looks like I'm getting the red light. Talk to me when you're like off of this drink.
Exactly.
Thank you again, and I'd like to welcome back our Toastmaster.
Yo!
Thank you, Jean. And now I would like to invite Dan.
No. 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that. Okay, 2 minutes to do your evaluation on the paper that you have. Okay, we're back now. Mr. Timer, did both of our speakers qualify this evening?
Yes, both speakers qualified this evening. The two speakers were Jesus and Jean Summerton Craig.
Okay, so now everyone, you have an opportunity to vote. And now I'd like to invite Scott Terry. He's our general evaluator this evening.
Yes, Scott.
I will be evaluating the evaluators. Two excellent speeches tonight that we're going to look forward to hearing the evaluations from. So I am now going to call up Rhonda to come on up and to tell us about Jesus' incredible speech tonight.
I'm going to give an extra hand to Jesus. His openness and honesty and sharing intimate experiences that weren't fun for him as a child that he has overcome as an adult. Obviously, Jesus has a heart of gold that he's developed in the ore of the factory, the hell of what he went through. And he used gestures that were effective. They were firm with us, but they were non-threatening gestures to help us understand his position he was in as a child and demonstrate details of what happened to him as a child. His clothing, the burns in his shirt, he was so little. He failed to thrive in that environment. But he stands 10 feet tall tonight. I enjoyed the way he brought us in by using details that touched our hearts and emotions. At first it was shocking, and he turned it around to a situation where he brought him into his story. He used the stage well, the expressions of his face. Jesus used his face to express his emotions, but he was firm and he was solid in what he expressed to us without fear. I enjoyed the fact that he used his personal experience in America as well as a learning tool. His speech title was, "It's better to give than to receive." In Mexico, that may be true, that you receive cruel or hostile things happening to you sometimes by people who have been treated marginally, cruelly, or in hostile conditions themselves. But he's obviously got so much compassion for his nation, the people of his nation, that he can go back and forgive and create peace, harmony, and love with the children. I would suggest for Jesus, as a suggestion to improve his speech, to act like he's Superman, to stand tall and straighten his lapel and just be 10 feet tall and powerful, because he is. The other suggestion I would make is if you really wanted to get gory, you could show the scar on your arm from the cigarette burn. If anybody needed proof. Because you don't seem like you've been abused. Thank you, Jesus. It was very moving, and it is compelling that you can go and give these children the opportunity to have a life knowing who they are with dignity and acknowledging themselves in positive ways. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful evaluation for a wonderful speech. Dan, come on down.
Yo!
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Gene. I heard this presentation a few times, and I enjoyed it every time.
Fucking like a true husband.
I actually think it is an excellent presentation. I believe that she gave something in a fairly short time frame with good visual aids that had the audience feeling like there is a problem out there, and this is something that really applies to me. Now, one thing that Jean did at the beginning, after she showed the slide that listed the problems and then the lifestyle habits that people might be dealing with, she made the statement that I'm going to give a presentation and show you how this all applies. That's a good start, because that's probably the most important thing you have to do if you're going to take somebody's time, is make them feel like, yes, this is important to me, or this is important to my society. And she started out with that well. The other thing that I thought she did really well, besides just delivering the topic well, which I thought it was very smooth, just all the information she did, she went through it very well, but just the mechanics of it. Visual aids can be tricky, and I thought she did it really well. She didn't look at the slides. She didn't read the slides. I particularly like that she put a slide up, she'd kind of let you glance at it, and then she'd give you the overall feel of it, but she wouldn't read the points, which can be really irritating. She never did that. One thing that I thought could have been better was use of stage. You did have the remote, and of course you did want to look at your computer to see which slide was coming up. But I think with that remote, you really could have wandered around a little bit. You could have told Slobodan what you were going to talk about. You moved about on the stage. You have the feeling sometimes that you're tethered to your equipment, but you probably weren't as much as you should. I'm tethered to my equipment. I thought the only other point that I wanted to make about an improvement would be regarding the question and answer phase. It was an important part of this project. I had the feeling that a little too often the answer was, "I'll talk to you later." And, you know, sometimes that's just a function of the questions that you get, I guess. But I think the audience probably felt a little less than fulfilled by that answer. But overall, a very good presentation, and she did wrap it up well. She explained to us that there is a national crisis and that it involves every one of us, and I think we all believe that by the end of her talk. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Dan. Great work. So, did both evaluators, 2 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 evaluators.
3 evaluators. I'm sorry. Did all 3 evaluators make the time tonight?
Yes, Mr. General Evaluator, all 3 evaluators.
Excellent. So, time to vote for Stephanie for table topics. We often forget that happened a while ago. For Rhonda. Sorry, I'm spacing out. I'm like looking at Jean and saying Rhonda. Rhonda and Dan. All 3 made it. So, alrighty. We are ready to roll into our reports. Liam. By the way, I loved your table topic tonight. So thank you for that. And I love, like, now I know your name. Like, really know your name. So thanks.
Thank you.
Tell us the timing.
Table topic speakers in order of time. Slobodan, 1 minute, 8 seconds. Karen, 1 minute, 13 seconds. John, 1 minute, 56 seconds. Seth, 2 minutes, 3 seconds. Raul, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Liam, 2 minutes, 29 seconds.
Ooh.
I'm back.
That's right.
On the speeches for Jesus, 6 minutes, 46 seconds. Jean Symington Craig, 10 minutes, 48 seconds. Her speech was 9 to 11. On evaluators, table topics evaluator Stephanie, 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Rhonda, 3 minutes, 4 seconds. Dan, 3 minutes, 26 seconds.
Ooh.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you. Excellent. And time for the aha. Right away, aha.
Darlene, 3 uhs, an am. Scott, an 3 so's.
Ooh.
Stephanie, an a so. Liam, a so. Dan, clean. John Loros, an and, 3 repeats. Seth, an and. Rahul, a so, 3 ands, 2 repeats. Karen, 4 uhs, and an and. Slobodan, an and that was it. Cindy, an and. Jesus, an and a repeat. Rhonda, clean. Jean, 2 uhs.
Thank you, Art.
Yeah, Art.
So before Will speaks, I have to say thank you for your word of the day. By the way, I purposely didn't use it because my name of my company is called Art and Counseling Center. So I say this throughout the day, every single day, and I'm like looking at he didn't just put Arden up there, did he? So I was like, oh my God. I must have said that like 50 times today. So, go ahead, Will. Shouldn't have said so again, see?
Thank you, Scott. Well, outside of Scott, there was one user of the word, and that was Gene, with ardently. And that's a good thing, because I have a lot of communication here to get through. You guys used a great expression here of the human language, of the English language. John Loros whipped it good. And anything could be abbreviated at this point. Liam Dyer, speaking out of the cuff and surrendering at the podium. Seth Braun, my wife is happier when I'm making money. Lessons for life. Rahul Karen, with so many material things, but the content or spirit that you bring. Slobodan, the magic scoop. That image really stuck in my mind. Rhonda, speaking about Jesus, a character you want to keep your eye on.
Yes.
With a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Jesus, use humor to brace my emotions. I also noted, kind of visualized the electric shocks running through my body. That was a powerful one as well.
Yeah.
And whatever I've learned, I bring with me. Gene, get with the right tribe. And Dan, tethered to your equipment.
Excellent. Cindy? You ready to do joking? Joking away? Joke.
I have to steal one from Tom.
Oh. A special Tom
I've got
stealing
one.
joke.
Okay.
I have one ready.
Go ahead.
Seth's joke for tonight.
Thank you. My daughter, Marisol, is 7. She's going to be 8 in a month. She's into this phase where she is into joke books, riddle books, and she's got a stack of them from the library, so I happen to be primed. So I have a joke for you. Where do crocodiles keep their money?
I don't know.
In a river bank. Thank you very much!
Alrighty. Time to do a little evaluation of the evaluators. Stephanie, I really like how you started with a positive on Cindy and what she did, as opposed to jump right in to what the actual speakers did. I like how you evaluated Cindy for a moment. That was really a nice way to start. The positive that you did that I really also liked was that you had really clear and distinct suggestions for just about everybody. My improvement for you would be looking at doing a little bit more sandwiching for the beginning, and since we're doing both groups, we're in the advanced group as well, to do a bit more sandwiching. So to say a little bit more distinctly, this is what was positive, here's what I'm suggesting, and by the way, it was wonderful, and be clear on the positive so they have something else they could do something with. Almost like the 3 points in the stage. Rhonda, I like both aspects when you first introduce Jesus, and again, your really lovely energy that you bring to this. It wasn't just, I'm reading what his topic is, but it was this wonderful introduction, so it's like we're primed and ready for Jesus to walk out on the stage. It really sort of warmed the air before he even came on. It wasn't just, here's the topic of what Jesus is doing about connecting with the audience and accomplishing the goal. I liked how you worked with this when you actually gave your review, the great review of his positives, the noticing of the details, the noticing of the expressions, the use of stage, the understanding of what he was trying to communicate and how he was communicating. It was just wonderful. Your suggestion was fantastic of, I like this acting like Superman, of really owning what you have. Because he's doing that with the stage. He's doing that with his expressions. What Jesus also missed that would have been a nice little point for you to notice is he still needs to get that one point for one person at one time, and then another point for another person at another time. Tom's great motto. Ha! He sort of drilled that into my head that I really liked. I also liked how you come back to the glory of what he was doing and thanking Jesus at the end. And it really made it very positive and powerful what you were trying to create. Dan, I liked how you were started with, when your talk, with a little bit of humor. But it was humor that was also tinged with the dramatic of what she was trying to say and the clarity of that. Great presentation, and how you're showing how she's doing that presentation. How she's using the audience. And what was really the point you made, the point of what she did well, was a nuance that nobody ever picks up on. It wasn't just being able to use the tool, but the mechanics of the usage. And I thought it was a wonderful point that all of us should really take home. So it wasn't just use of the props. The wonderful use of the stage, and how she needed to do more of that. So in terms of suggestions for her. Question and answer improvements and a sense of unfulfillment. I would suggest looking at how she could also look at, as you said, how she could also utilize the wrapping it up, how she could utilize a better conclusion to both aspects of her speech. But excellent presentation and review of what she did. And it really was a wonderful speech. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is the part of our time of our meeting where we recognize the speaker. So we'll have a first one we're going to do is the best table topics. So drum roll, please.
Best table topics.
Best table topics.
Best
Karen.
topics. Yeah.
Nice job. Next we have best speaker. Drum roll. Jesus. And he also is completed his 10th speech. So
That is the start. That is the start. And I like to walk my walk, and I like to give this for Rhonda because she pulled up my introduction off the cuff, and she did a wonderful job. So this is for you, Rhonda.
Next we have have our best evaluator. Drum roll, please. Rhonda Whitaker. So next, actually, we'll have Rhonda come back up because she's going to explain a special competition, a speech competition that we're having.
That's right.
Yeah, Rhonda.
Will has been so kind to give me the opportunity to develop some leadership skills. Tonight I'm going to explain that we're doing our spring speech contest. I sent out an email that it's an inspirational speech contest, but it's actually an international speech contest.
Yes.
And we will need some people to fill roles. This is something that you can use to help accomplish goals in your leadership manual and also your speaking manual. We would like to have some people volunteer to fill these vital roles.
When is it?
It is March 12th. It starts at 7:15, and we'll have our chief judge will be giving a short training to the judges involved. And I expect that Jean Symington Craig is going to be our chief judge unless somebody else wants to elbow her out and get in place for that position.
Actually, but we could get some judges tonight too.
Yes.
Yeah, but first speakers.
Yeah. And also set, I think 7:30 is when we, but we, well, everyone.
No, 7:15, 17.
To do that whole contest?
Start at 7:15, we still won't get up to 9:15.
There are two categories we need speakers for. One is the international speakers. We need 3 speakers. So far I have Bert Chernowski and Rahul Vats. We need one more person to be a speaker.
So this is a great opportunity for you to bump up your speaking by having a little more pressure. When there's a little more pressure, you tend to prepare more, and it's a great opportunity to sharpen your skills. Highly recommend it. Excellent thing to do.
Liam?
He has to be a member back in good standing, too.
Oh,
And you have to have 6 speeches?
yes, you have to have accomplished 6 speeches in the Competent Communicator Manual and be in good standing.
How many speakers can we have?
5. We want.
Are we going to have a speakers trust competition? Because then
They can compete.
Don't need to.
I just thought if we did, then we could all be judges for this one and then we could compete in our own.
Well, we'll just.
We can.
We can, but we don't usually.
I was going to represent Speakers Trust because we usually haven't had a competition. I mean, I'll compete in this club, but you know, I plan on winning, so I want to give people the chance to compete on the second one. You know what? I'm just saying.
We'll talk about that. Here's your chance. You want to step up here to Seth and be Superman.
I will compete against you in an area contest. You know, it's just.
Okay, so we need one more speaker. Anybody?
Or more.
Just one. 4 more.
So
All right.
So are we
Or
speaking in this one and the other one, or just speaking in? I'm confused.
If you
We weren't planning on having a Speakers Trust contest, but if you'd like to, we can have that conversation.
I don't care. I'll do it this.
Okay, let's stick with this one for now.
Would you like to speak?
Sure.
Would you like to be in this competition?
Yeah, are we doing table topics too?
We're also doing
Yes,
table
right now
topics,
we're-
and you can be in both if you want.
Sure.
Good idea.
Can we be in both?
Sure.
Table
why
topics
not?
and it. All right.
And I'll judge too if you need a judge.
I don't think you can be in here.
That's the part of the Chicago system that we don't.
You know, Chicago, you do everything. Yeah.
Okay. One more table topic speaker would be good. Tom, excellent. Stephanie.
Excellent. You need 6 speakers to go on the tabletop?
No.
Put me in, please. Tabletop.
Okay.
No, there's no rules on table topics. Just be a member in good standing. That's all you have to be. Brand new members can join and can do it too.
That would be fun.
Good experience.
Yes, and there's lots of information on Toastmasters International website on how to do these things. There's a lot of coaching they give. So we have our speakers and our topic speakers. I need one Toastmaster for the evening.
That's usually you.
Okay. One chief judge, I think that Jean has agreed to do that. And now we need 2 ballot counters.
Well, I could be a judge.
You need judges. Get the judges first.
All
They're
right.
the most important.
Okay, Seth and
I could be a judge on the speakers.
Stephanie.
You
can.
need to break it up into.
Yeah, we can mix and match.
5. Got 5.
So we've got.
I can judge both because I'm not going to compete.
Okay. So we have Seth and Stephanie.
Cindy.
Cindy.
Stephanie's on 1. Stephanie is on.
I can judge the speaking, international speaking.
You see, Ronnie, you got to do the.
Yeah, I have to separate them out.
Art.
Art's not going to.
He's good.
Okay.
Living it up in Europe.
I'll be a judge.
Thank you, Darlene. Which for both?
Yeah, she can do both.
Yeah.
Are you competing? Do you want to compete?
You should compete.
Competing takes priority.
You should compete. You've got some great speeches.
That face.
Okay, I've been talking to it. I'm gonna compete.
Which one? Which?
Right.
Which or both?
Not table topics.
Okay, not table topics.
She could judge in table topics.
Right.
Is there anybody then competing in the international speech competition but not table topics that would like to be a judge for table topics?
That includes everybody except Raul,
Diane.
Bert, Scott, and Darlene.
Diane will be here. She's a good judge. She's done it a number of times. As long as she's going to be in the
Yeah, we
country,
have to
I think
ask
she will.
Offer her a judge seat
Yes.
for table topics.
Both.
Both.
She's very experienced.
Okay. We still need some more judges for table topics. We have Diane, Seth, and Darlene.
Will's here. He'll do it. He's done it before.
Will, awesome. One more judge for table topics.
I can do it.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Could you do for speech, or you can do a speech? You can do for speech.
You can do both.
Do speech.
Do you need another speech judge?
Yes, he'd be great.
I can do both.
Awesome.
Good.
Great, so we have our judges. Let's talk about, we need voters, the vote counters.
Timers first.
Ballot counters.
Priority is timers next.
Okay,
Gotta have them.
we need 2 timers. Who's good
Not
at timing?
2 timers, but
2 timers.
2 timers.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming.
coming.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
We're almost done.
All right, who wants to be a timer? Do I have to
I'll be a
twist
timer.
arms? Okay, thanks, John.
Aren't you competing?
Can't. You're competing.
Competing.
Oh,
Sorry.
Wow.
Slobodan, do you want to be timer or ballot counter?
I'll do timer.
Thank you. And we need someone to assist Slobodan.
Jesus, are you having a job?
What do you need?
Timers.
A timer
Yes, I
or,
can type.
okay.
Are you qualified?
Yeah.
So let's open it there and we'll get the rest next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, we got the rest next meeting. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.
One thing. This winners at the contest on the 12th, the area contest is going to be here.
The 23rd.
23rd, Saturday the 23rd in the
Gotta make
morning.
sure you're gonna be here. Oh, you don't have to be.
You've got permission to get here?
Not yet.
All right, well, optimistically, it's the 23rd here, Saturday, and that's the area, so it could be some other club participants.
All right, very good. Any questions? Very good. Let's turn it back to Darlene, Toastmaster.
I am.
Well, turn it right now.
Thank you, Darlene. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Rhonda. And now we will invite our president, Will Burns, to come up and close our meeting.
yay!
Thank you, Darlene.
One guest.
We have one guest. They're in the back. Would you care to stand up, tell us about your experience a little bit, or what you thought?
Hi everybody, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Catherine Kenz. I am the daughter of Stan that you may know. I'm excited to join Toastmasters. I've been looking forward to becoming a member for about 10 years, but never really had the guts. And it's just that perfect time in my life where I've got some good company and going for it. So I got a nice checkbook out, And you know what to write it for.
Great. Let me. With our treasurer, Art, right here.
I have application forms. I'll talk to you afterwards.
Go see Art. Well, another meeting has come and gone. I want to give a big hand to the people that stepped up. Jesus, for doing your 10th. Darlene, for stepping up here for the first time as Toastmaster. Long overdue.
And Rhonda's first time as an evaluator.
And Rhonda.
First time as
It didn't feel that way up here. You seem like you really owned it.
I read the manual.
What a concept.
Very sly. Very smart.
Karen, first table topic.
And Karen, how can I forget? First table topics. So with that, I encourage you all to go out and seize the day. But first, please seize some chairs or some of these things to help us tear down.
Heck yeah.
And drive safe.